Alaikum salam. How's everything? Good, alhamdulillah. How are you?
It's a pleasure to finally be able to talk to you in person. So, Amr, what is Islamic finance?
All right. It's a very good question. Before I actually start saying what is Islamic finance, I need to define usury or interest, or the Arabic word riba. Okay. So riba linguistically it means any access or addition or increase. It's the growth of things, and it has been mentioned a couple of times in the Quran with that meaning. However, if we talk technically from the finance point of view, it means that's an increase on the principal amount of money that has been loaned to someone without any consideration. This is the most important things in Islamic finance, okay, is that we avoid interest, which one thing of so many, but the most important is avoid the interest element. And by the way, interest was forbidden not by the Prophet Muhammad when he was revealed the Quran on him. It was actually before that. So interest and usury has been forbidden by all previous books. It's not only by Islam.
Oh, I actually did not know that.
Oh yeah, no, that's a problem. So many people, they don't know about it, but really it has been prohibited by different faith. I can tell you non-Abrahamic prohibition of usury that was coded by Hammurabi. Okay, and there are a couple of things. There are so many things actually in the Hindu law. It has been prohibited. Total interest may not exceed principal. Okay, plateau, capital not viewed as a valid factor of production. So if you have money as the capital, it cannot reproduce by itself. Okay, and Judo, Christian, all prohibited riba. And you can find it in so many verses and versions of other books as well. Because it has been revealed by the Lord, and He is just one. So each one is coming actually to complement the other with the same message. So the message is that interest and usury is forbidden because it does not really benefit societies or communities. I mean, it doesn't mean that you own the money, you have the right to increase it. No, the money has to be entered into an economic production risk factor so that it can produce. So if I'll give you a simple example, if you hand out $100 and you go to sleep tonight, if you wake up in the morning, would it be $90 or 110? No, it would remain 100. So money by itself, it cannot reproduce. So why you actually give it to me? I have to give it to you the next day with an increment. No, you have to put it into a production or in an economic cycle, and then you are exposed to the risk whether you can gain or lose. So this would depend on the other factor, how brave you are, how experienced, how we work, which industry, and all of that. But just owning the money, it doesn't give you the right to increase it. To make it clear, interest is based on money. So if I give you money and you are returning this money in excess of the principal, so this is riba. If I am dealing in an asset or a service and I'm getting back the principal amount, plus even if the same percentage, it is profit. It's like when you go actually buy a t-shirt, okay, and assume this company actually they sell the t-shirt either in cash or in installments. So if he sells you that t-shirt on installments, is he making a profit or he is making interest?
He's making interest.
No, he's making profit because he sold you the t-shirt. But if he's giving you the 100 and then you are paying back 100 plus the 10%, that's interest. And that's why we would like to introduce Islamic banking to avoid interest, number one. Number two, to avoid speculation. Okay. Number three, to avoid word gharar, which is mean uncertainty. People, they don't know. It's like I can tell you, okay, why don't you buy the fish in this pond? But is there fish there or not? And how many is there? What type? All of this. So this is uncertain. You don't know what's inside there. Or I can tell you, why don't you buy this box? Maybe it's empty. Okay. So all of this, it's prohibited and it's not acceptable under the Islamic finance or Islamic banking laws. If you are entering into any agreement, it has to be 100% transparent. You have to know what are you getting, how much are you paying, what are profit the other party is doing and making, and when you have to repay back those amount or those obligation against you.
Are there any advantages for non-Muslims to go through Islamic financing?
Oh, definitely. I mean, as I was saying a couple of minutes ago, I mean, this has been prohibited even before Islam. Okay, so nowadays you will find some fundamentalist Jews, for example, they don't deal in interest.
Wow.
Yeah, and there are really big firms here in Canada. They don't even place deposit with conventional banks.
Yeah.
So they're waiting for an Islamic bank or an alternative solution for those financing needs, and they're willing actually to support them, and you start, dealing with them. So there are so many other faiths that they're waiting for ethical, non-interest bearing instruments. There are so many other countries, they have Islamic financing, Islamic banking, and those are Western societies, by the way.
Yeah.
You have in Europe, so many in England, in Germany, in France, and even in the United States we have done transaction even in Japan, Islamic transaction. So there is all over the places, even in England, they changed the law to accommodate for Islamic banking.
Okay.
Ireland, they're doing this as well. So there are so many countries that have adopted Islamic finance, Islamic banking. Here in Canada, there are some obstacles. We are trying actually to overcome such obstacles. We have presented documents or paper to the government. They have accepted the concept. That was about 7-8 years ago. And I know that there was a group of investors. They submitted an application to OSFI, which is the Office of Superintendent of Financial Institution, which is considered the central bank of Canada. Yeah. And they approved the application, and the name of the bank was published in the Canadian Gazette, okay, twice. But at the end, there was some regulation that they wanted to have certain conditions which the investor didn't like, and the whole idea was shelved. Okay, number one, most of the people work on this, they're on volunteer basis, so they don't dedicate enough time to trying to come up with financial halal alternative. Number two is that we don't have enough capital to start this, because it needs pre-operating expense. It needs a lot of money to establish this institution. Those are the main two factors. Okay, we're trying to avoid them. There was some other companies that already worked in Canada for a couple of years, but unfortunately it went bankrupt in 2013, if I'm not mistaken, and it left a bad taste in the market.
Yeah.
We're trying to overcome such a bad exercise, and alhamdulillah, I mean, things are improving. There are few companies that are trying to produce or launch some single products. Not all of them is 100% halal, but at least it's a good attempt so that we can reach 100% halal institution. And this step, we're working on it. We are trying to establish a credit union, okay, to serve the Ontario region.